It's difficult, quite, to run a little industry at the top of times. But the Brexit negotiations are an additional standard of distress for lot entrepreneurs. Nearly 2.25 years after, we got behind in concern, to discover out which they do of the Shaw so far and the main secretary's project Brexit Treaty. Stephen Britt's company, Anchoring Store, organizes storage and allocation for some companies. His Suffolk-based industry employs 19 human beings. Mr. Britt elect to keep the Europe Association, but has been unfortunate on the way the negotiations include been processed. I'm receive more patient and weary of the shortage of vanity of our Whitehall civilian service staff and the inert political community who are in accusation of them. I'm very fed up in the entire item, at how inappropriate we've all been, in which should include been a comparatively reasonable, standard-headed negotiating. But in spite his disappointment, he would voice to keep once again. The negotiations include proven, in his view, how the Europe Association is a protective organization not concerned in manufacturing globalization job. Chris Ingham is the founding member and head execution of Rejuvenating, a public health drinks industry. The London-based company employs 4 persons human beings. Chris, who elect to stay, says of the present position, it's bloodbath, but bloodbath of a policy feeling more than rather than whatever else of a industry prospect I yet conduct the identical type, its industry as normal. His business is planner to extend in Europe. I'm more than rather than lucky to be implicated in Europe, to include manufacture in Europe and turnover in Europe. He ever suspected the Europe Association would not do it lightweight for the UK to keep. They type of include to do the as prolonged as probable to put off some nations making the as so. Shelley Lloyd's industry sells personnel resettlement services. It was newly sold out to a greater organization and is now named Celsium given by Brunel. She elect to keep, but is possessing other thoughts. Knowledge which I aware currently, maybe I would include elect to stay. She thinks the talks include been controlled ill and communicating of the by the government has been impoverished. This by the government has often taken into account the general social disinformation, she says. Now, she is help clients job out how lot additional it will price following Brexit to hold EU citizens work in the UK, and UK workers in the Europe Association. Ed Season with Salt is operating CEO of Milk Means company Delamere Milk. The Cheshire-based industry employs 23 personnel. Mr. Season with Salt, who elect to stay, fair laughs while requested which he makes of the present position. We're yet really encouraging of a transaction's departure via, he says. A considerable ratio of industry owners and political community very wish to get a gentle Brexit, quite rather than a difficult Brexit, and I believe down there was a will on both of sides of the fencing in Europe and the UK. But how we in fact get down there is unidentified. He has been manufacturing preparations in instance a transactions is not achieved, consisting check contracts, hedge versus probable exchange moves and maybe switch several manufacture to the Europe Association, so he can delivery his clients down there. But his business has been incapable to get additional storage area. It's already before booked by human beings accumulation, he says. Julie Cost has been fleeing her own insurance coverage industry, Julie Cost & Co., for 30 years. The Hinckley-based company employs 5 personnel. The Keep advocate anticipated talks to be hard. While thou renegotiations whatever you include to go forward. She does not pity vote to keep, proverb the Europe Association has large problems. While thou got 27 or 28 countries, how are you all departure to accept on thing? It conducted ages. Include you always tested to organize a board of above 10 human beings? You get anything made, she says. She is not concerned by a difficult Brexit, proverb it won't be as bad as the 2008 finance meltdown. While the banks had how big oscillation, how was large. Jennifer Tan rest her own opulence auxiliary equipment industry, Pampiano. The Oxford-based business has 7 employees. Ms. Tan, who elect to stay, says on the newest confusion, it's really frustrating. Down there's yet no clearness, and it seems to be always worst. All of her raw material are estimated in dollar, so the week of the LB with the plebiscite has cut her profits by 30%. I had hopes over the 1 week how down there would be a final rebound in the LB, but no. It's yet not event. We appear to be in, though more than of a chaos. Yet, she is impressed how Theresa May's transactions plans to hold the UK in a customs officer association in the brief period, that is significant for her industry.